Alright, this is part 3. People will close all borders for 10 years. Completely border shutdown. But the only ones that will be able to come through our borders, all around our borders, is for commerce use only. I mean, if you're not here for commerce, then you are not allowed to be here. For 10 years. We have to shut everything down for 10 years. Except for like the American people that want to come and go. I mean, you know, people work overseas and stuff and they have to come here and go back over there. Or if they want to take a vacation or whatever, the American people can. But anybody else, no. And the people will stop all poisons in the air, earth, and water and protect Mother Nature and help her heal. The Pacific plate is shifting. If you go through and you watch all there's just tons of earthquakes. The plate's shifting, that's why we're having climate control. It has nothing climate problems because they're spraying stuff in the air too. You can see it. Our skies aren't as blue as they were. And all that toxic stuff they're spraying up there is coming down and it's killing our vegetation. And it's hurting us, causing us cancers and everything. That because they want to protect global warming. Really? I don't think so. I mean, we're no further away than what we always have been from the sun. I mean, we're still the same. It's just that the rest of the world wants to pollute the air, which kills ozone layer, and that's the problem. It's not where, oh, let's just put a mirror up there and just shield the sun. And everyone's going solar, and they're taking the sun away from us by blocking it. It doesn't make any sense. And one of the elite families says that they own the sun and the air and everything. They're the ones that has control of the weather. Yep, they even said that. Control of the weather. And the people will stop. They'll bring no oil engines. I mean, we have the technology 100 years ago, and man invented the no oil engine for manufacturers that took no oil, run on hydrogen, I mean, and heat. No oil. But the oil companies want to profit, but we don't need it. We just don't need it. And there are no pollution cars. Saab made one, and they call it the 007 because it's a submarine and a land vehicle. It has 0 emissions. And Ford, back in the 1950s, they came out with the technology of cannabis. Car completely made out of cannabis. And ran on it and everything. And all of that stuff. The war on drugs has got to stop too. I mean, really? That's just got to stop. The companies, if you're leaving to go overseas, just stay over there. So you're just saying that you're anti-American. You go overseas for their cheap labor and stuff like that, then come back and sell the stuff over here. No. No. You could just keep your business over there, and then you could pay the the 35% tariff to do business with us. I mean, if you're an American company, like I believe Target is all American company that just does nothing but inside America. Companies like that deserve free trade. I mean, the ones that are complete 100% for America, American companies, free trade. It's just that simple. And I believe that if a company hires you, then they have to pay for your transportation. They'll give you a car and everything, but we'll give them a tax credit for that. To make sure that you'll be able to get back and forth to work. If you work in like New York where you can't have a vehicle, then they pay for your cabs or a car to come and get you back and forth to work, or or whatever like that. And I believe that state tax should pay for the child care assistance, so people can go to work and be able to afford to go to work. Because there's a lot of single parents, male and female, that are limited to the daycare hours, and they should have daycare in each company, or be able to assist, like the state gives assistance. Well, the companies need to give assistance too. I mean, it's not all just on the state. The companies, if they want to do business in the state, they need to help the state and stop all the double taxation of companies, like back with the Boston Tea Party. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. The IRS should be state owned. Each state have their own IRS for the state and the people, and the federal government has their own IRS system for the U.S. citizens and their corporations. And then we have to have a separate entity that oversees everything to make sure that everything is good. And we're not going to become like the North American Union or the SPP. Obama changed the name to SPP. All of that's got to stop. We're not going to become like the rest of the world. We are America, our borders, our country. We're not going to share our borders, a country, with Canada or Mexico. We're not going to do it. We should have a healthcare system like Hawaii. Why don't we have a healthcare system like Hawaii? You work for a company, day one, you have health insurance. Doesn't matter if you work part-time, full-time, whatever, you have medical insurance. The company helps pay that. Just like there's a company, the U.S. playing cards, they pay, you don't have to pay for insurance, and you're on an 80-20 plan. They pay 80%, you pay 20%. And you don't have a monthly charge or weekly charge for medical insurance. The company just automatically gives it to you. I believe it's Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Or it was at one time or something. Let's see. People are now on sliding scales for the doctors. Yeah, they should be on a sliding scale for the doctors. Get rid of that Obamacare or whatever they want to call it. And bring back the sliding scales. You pay what you can. You bring in your monthly paychecks, and then they go off the sliding scale of how much you could pay for the doctor visit. And they could bill you or whatever, or you could have little to no copays. And if you have insurance, then, you know, the insurance companies get billed whatever they get billed. But for people that don't have health care, they need to bring back the sliding scale system. And they need to start taxing the hospitals. The hospitals are tax exempt. As I understand it, they're tax exempt. They need to be taxed for per bed. Not anything else, just a small tax on per bed. So that way it's they're not just tax exempt, just galloping all of that money. It's ridiculous. And end all the propaganda in schools. It's about to shut off. I'll go to part 4. But the schools, they gotta teach true history. The Geneva Bible. Does anybody even know what the Geneva Bible is? It was a Bible before King George tore it apart and made different Bibles out of it. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. And that's what our founding fathers brought over here to the United States, was with the Geneva Bible, because it talked about politics and everything in that thing. And they need to bring back the civics back into schools. And they need to offer Latin in all schools as an option to learn, because Latin is the base for all languages. Once you get Latin down, then you can learn a new language. But at least you have a base for a new language, so you'll be able to communicate with the rest of the world, and not just us.